The Spirit of the Liturgy. I chose this selection because it really speaks to me about Mass and the question of Mass. This is something we struggle with every time we have Mass. We try to get the girls engaged, and the girls really do not seem to understand the importance of Mass. It is difficult because we are in the gym, and it's also a place where they play sports. So it does not lend itself to a spiritual environment, but we strive to create this atmosphere. But after reading this selection, I really feel that it's not really about our personal engagement. What I learned from this is that it is definitely about not just us. It is about the global church. It is about worship of God. It's not about how loud we sing. Active participation, of course, is very important, but it's not just about that. It is about uniting human and divine into one spiritual experience. And so I feel that this will help me as I communicate with the girls the importance of Mass and how we need to be fully engaged, but also how it is about our worship of God. It's not about the entertainment value. It is about the Holy Spirit's presence in the consecration of the Eucharist, the importance of the Eucharist as the true presence of Jesus in the bread and wine, in the body and blood of Christ, and how our understanding of this and our belief in this as Catholics is so fundamental to our faith and to our everything that we do and say, our very lives. It should be not about, oh, I like this song, I don't like that song, oh, that reading was really good, I understood, that priest was really boring, but really about how we are engaged in the beautiful feast of Christ through the Mass. And Pope Francis has definitely brought us a more personable church, a church that invites and engages, a church that wants to be present, but Mass isn't always the most exciting, but that's not what it's about. And that's something that's really, this section really called my attention to this, that it's really not about me. It's not about the girls. It's about everything, and it's about God. It's about the Trinity. That's what Mass is about.
Mass, and to me, it's boring a lot. I think it's the same thing every week.
And I find myself zoning out. Yeah, a lot of people, both young and old, complain about that. But we have that little phrase to practice.
It's not just the church. It's about worship of Christ. Together, united with the magisterium, with the Pope. But it's not just us. It's not just the readers. It's not just the music. It's not just the prayers. It's everything united. It's basically the incarnation, the unity of the human and the divine together as one. And that's what Mass is about. And I really felt that more than I've ever really understood it after reading this. We have right here our remembering of the divinity of Christ along with our humanity, so beautifully depicted here. And sometimes it's about the church. I think of my daughter when I took her to college, and here in California, Southern California, our churches are very modern. The church that we go to overlooks the ocean. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous view, but it's very modern churches. And when she saw this church in Chicago, she was so drawn to this church and felt very comfortable there. But it's really not about the church. It's about the liturgy that is held in the church. The church is merely a building. The people are important. All of it is important, but it is really about worship of Christ and God and the Trinity. So we have here talking about, we have the bishop coming to our school, but we also have the liturgy is God to be honored by the body of the faithful. And a lot of times I really think that this is what we forget. I love this Bishop Barron talking about open table fellowship, something I really never thought of also, but it's definitely addressed in this selection.
Everyone's invited. Is that just Jesus being a nice and inclusive fellow? No, it's Jesus as the very incarnation of Yahweh, doing what God always wanted to do, bringing his people back together for a sacred meal. Now, at the climax of his life, Jesus is in Jerusalem. By the way, that's the holy mountain. Mount Zion. That's Isaiah's holy mountain. On the top of Mount Zion, he sits down with his 12 apostles, symbolic of the 12 tribes of Israel. And he eats with them a last supper, a sacred meal. How I've longed to share this Passover with you. It's also the Passover supper. So he's drawing together the strands of the Old Testament. What does he do? At that climactic moment.
So beautiful. Again, it's not just us in our church, in our gym. It's everything together, united with Christ. That Jesus longs to feed us on himself, for us to join in the divine, to be a part of Jesus, to be a part of who he is, our call to back to perfection, to what we were designed to be. It's about unity about the things that we hold dear, the things that we hold special, but it's not about our personal prayer. There is a time for personal prayer, and there's a time for communal prayer, and Mass is a community of worship with the entire universal church. But again, it's not just the church, it is also the Trinity, united together as one, becoming one together, united with angels and saints, both heaven and earth, human and divine. But unfortunately, we are many times clouded by our attitudes about Mass.
All the very sports when I was a kid, and I can count one hand the times I found practice thrilling. Occasionally you'd be practicing basketball or baseball, and hey, I really get the thrill of the game. Usually practice is tedious. It's repetitive. It's doing drills, not really playing the game. It's getting yourself prepared for this excellence. Why do we expect the practicing of the faith, therefore, to be at every moment uplifting? You're practicing the violin. A lot of it's drudgery. It's repetitive. You're practicing the golf swing. A lot of it's just going out there and hitting the golf ball. You're practicing whatever it is. So why is practicing the faith thought to be different? Every moment, every Mass has got to be an emotional high. It's disciplining yourself toward this great excellence of a relationship with Christ.
And that's what I think we need to remember, and that's what I'm going to focus on when I'm called to discuss with the girls. We'll have St. Joseph's Mass coming up this week, and it's a very important Mass because of the Sisters of St. Joseph, and we need to remember that it is about practicing our faith, practicing how to get closer to God, to our faith, and understanding who we are as a community of faith. We all have our favorite liturgies, prayers, things that we're drawn to, but every Mass can't be exciting. Every Mass can't be the most magical. It's about our relationship. It's about placing ourselves in the presence of Christ and spending time in quiet reflection and being with our triune God. But each one we should feel warm, we should feel welcome, we should unite together as one in our practices, in our beliefs, and welcoming to everyone, even the people, which I often forget, who haven't been to Mass in a while. How beautiful that they've come to Mass, and helping the girls to understand Mass, especially those that may not necessarily be practicing, that they feel comfortable and welcome, that we rest in the arms of Christ. Just close our eyes, stop, relax, and be with God. Here we have the girls dressing the altar. Mass transcends our everyday. It goes beyond, outside of who we are. And I think that is just so beautiful, that it's a connection between ourselves, between God, and between each other. That we are assembled as a congregation, together as one. I had more, but I'm going over, so I'll stop there. But I just thank you for listening, and I hope that I have explained everything. Thank you so much.